Hello, I'm Micks Mowers, the Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be tidying up my old Luba 1 and I want to change the blades on it. I've had the machine about 3 years now and I've just been gifted one of the brand new Luba 2s, which I've done a video on, and I said in my last video with regards to the Luba 2, I'll be giving this Luba away, and a gentleman's reached out to me called Ronan. He doesn't live too far away from me. He's got a good sized garden, and he said, could he have it? And I said, yeah, no problem at all. So before I give it away to him, just want to clean it up, make it a little bit respectable, and change the blades on the machine because I haven't changed the blades since I've had them. Now, Mammotion sent out with the actual machine originally a little tiny pack of replacement blades and nuts and bolts and bits and pieces. That comes with the kit, as the Luba 2 does as well. So I want to clean up my Luba 1, get that done, and also just a little bit of an update. I've also got here another diesel heater has just come in for review. That one I'm going to be fitting into my mother-in-law's room. Now we've got like a 3-bedroom house with a 1-bedroom annex here. And she's over 80 years old and she does feel the cold excessively. And because the room is an extension, although it's got central heating in there, she does still feel the cold. So my plan is with this one is I want to fit this outside of a room and have it blowing hot air in. So she's got a bit of additional heat inside her room that she can do. So that'll be coming up for review. And then on top of that, since my dad's passing, which has happened, and he's been cremated and all the rest of it, my brother-in-law gave me this bike, Carrera road bike, of which me and my brother-in-law James have entered for next year for the London to Brighton bike ride. So I need to lose a bit of weight, which I'm doing anyway, and get my arse out on this bike, and we're doing London to Brighton. And we're doing that for the dementia support place called Sage House, which is in Tangmere in West Sussex. They supported my dad throughout his dementia journey, and they are a charity. So we're going to be cycling for them for a charity called Dementia Support. I will be asking for charity donations at some point, no doubt, because I'd like to raise a really good, significant amount of money to make a difference, because dementia is shocking. But my dad was cremated just last week, and very sad time still. I do miss him intently, but I've got him around my neck now. I've got some nice little tiny ashes, remains, bits and pieces, so he'll forever be with me around my neck, guiding me and telling me where I'm going right and where I'm going wrong and all that sort of good stuff. So I am moving on, but I do miss my daddy. I do miss my load. Anyway, don't start because I'll start booing, and I've been booing loads already today and last night as it is, so I'm still very heavily grieving because I do just miss my dad, but it's what it is. I can't change it, so therefore can't fix it. So anyway, so I'm to London and Brighton next year on the 21st of June, day before my birthday. So I'll have saddle sore for my birthday, but me and my brother-in-law are going to be doing that, so I need to get out and get practicing on a road bike. I've not done a road bike before. I've been out on it twice, and my God, I had to buy a padded saddle. Oh, that's a bit much, that is. So if you've got any tips and tricks on road bike exercise and what have you, let us know. Go from there. But today I want to change the blades on this Luba 1. That's what I want to do for Ronan, and then I can get this delivered to him. He lives a couple of miles from me. Get this delivered to him. He can. I expect he want my help to get it all set up because it's not as easy as you would think, but it's doable. But yeah, quick tidy up, bit clean up because it is filthy, and I'm going to go from there. So if this is the first time watching Micks Mowers, Mower Man, hit the subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications for all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down dirty and get this Luba 1 cleaned up and blades changed. So let's get rid of this diesel heater for now. I've got another one coming in as well, apparently. These diesel heaters, if you haven't got a diesel heater, right, I'm not even joking. They're not designed to heat a house, but they're designed to heat a small area. But they're just good if you don't want to put your central heating on. You can just have them plumbed in, and they just take the chill out. In fact, they heat my shed beautifully, which is a 10 by 20. They heat my shed lovely. But for someone like Nana, who just does feel the cold, she can get up in the morning and just flick the old thing on, put it on for an hour or so, just till it warms her house through, so she can get up and do what she wants to do, and then turn it off, and just turn it on and off throughout the day as she needs it. But it's a bit of a cheaper fix than firing up the old central heating than it is. And you just put a little diesel heater on, and it, like for an hour's running, it'll burn like like quarter of a litre, which is about what, 40p, so it's nothing. So anyway, I'm waffling or waffling, one or the other. So here is the Luba 1, which I've had for about 3.5 years. And I've got to say, it's a fantastic piece of kit. I like it a lot. And if it wasn't for the simple fact that they sent me the Luba 2, I would keep the Luba 1. And in fact, in many ways, I think there are some differences with the Luba 1 and Luba 2, but I prefer actually the Luba 1. The Luba 2 does have a few differences on it that perhaps are not quite as good as the Luba 1, in my opinion. So I've got some simple washing up liquid. This isn't window and glass, this is washing up liquid in here. And the first thing I'll do is just literally just give this old Luba a bit of a polish up, a bit of a clean, just so when I give it to Ronan, it looks like I've actually cared. But I do care, because it's a good bit of kit, but it just literally needs a bit of a clean up. Now these have got, which are the same as the Luba 2s, these have got rain detection on them and object avoidance on them. They've got everything on them. Get some more rags. And they are, without a doubt, a really, really good bit of kit. This is a rain avoidance up here. This little bit just here, that's what detects the rain. It's got object avoidance sensors all the way around it, which are these bits here. So I'm just going to do a quick clean up, make it look a bit more shiny than what it is. And we'll go from there. Now, I have got in contact with Mammotion, just explained to them that my review on the Luba 2 was delayed purely because of my dad's dementia, and I just didn't have the time, the inkling or the effort to do a lot with my channel because I was supporting my dad through his journey. Although I have done the review for them now, they sincerely understood. They were really supportive, really good. And they're going to be sending me a few more Luba products hopefully next year. Because they've got the new LiDAR system, which I want to get my hands on and see how that works. So let me just get this spruced up a little tiny bit. The only bits you want to really worry about are the sensors up the front. All these sensors here, I want to make sure they're clean. The rain sensor, the control button sensors, make sure they're working and not sticking. And then at the back of the machine, around here, look at that suspension, look at that suspension, look. Isn't that amazing? It's such a heavy machine. And then around the back here, you've got these two prongs here, which are your charging ports that help it charge up. Now, there's no way that this can power up or do anything because the RTK system is unplugged. So even if it wanted to fire up, it couldn't. So take a little while just to clean this up. Let me come back to it and give it a bit more of a detailed clean. Remember, get it flipped upside down and have a look at the blade setup. Right, so it's a bit cleaner than what it was. It's not perfect, but it will certainly do. One thing you don't want to be doing is when they first brought this Luba out, they said it was like water protective and what have you, and then they actually lowered the rating. They said it wasn't as water protective as they first thought it was. I won't be using a jet wash on it. So all I now want to do is just bring this Luba forward a bit, and just to protect these bits here, just going to get a few rags, probably put them down here actually, just to protect the underside of it when I tip it up. I don't want to damage any of these top buttons. Now it's quite a heavy machine for what it is. I'll tip it right upside down, all the way. And there is the underside. Now what you can do at the back of here, there's also a little tiny key which comes out the back. You can just remove that if you like, just for more safety. But as I say, the RTK system is not even plugged in, so it couldn't even tell where the machine is. As you can see, a lot of debris up in here, and you need to clean all this out. That has all got to come out, and the best way I think to do that is to get my air compressor and use my air compressor to get the bulk of this out, or a little tiny hoover would do. just to clean all these areas out, because as you can see right inside here, that's got all sorts of leaf litter and everything in there. You can remove all this sort of stuff out to make it easier, but an air compressor should get the bulk of that out. So let me get my air compressor fired up. I'll give it a quick blast off with my air compressor and I'll come back to you once I've done that. Right, so I've made a little bit of a start, but what I want to do is I want to remove these blades and also this carriage side, this carriage here, because I want it, but I can get inside here and have a decent clean up, because there's all sort of debris up inside here. So it's going to be just as easy to either remove the blades now or remove them once they're off the disc. It's up to you. It doesn't make a lot of difference, but you've got 3 screws here, which I've already loosened up slightly. And these have got a little bit of Loctite on them. Now, they weren't excessively tight anyway, okay? And I have got spare bolts for them. And what I do for one, I should do for the other. Well, it's going to take about, I would say, probably about half an hour to get this done. Now you can also, if you've got the Luba 1, I have seen on some websites you can actually get 3D printed versions of these to change these from a 4-blade to a 6-blade. And also spacers as well you can also buy now to lower the space. Because these don't go down as far as 30mm, where the new Luba 2 goes down as far as 20mm with this bit here. They've got a spacer here which you can now buy, which is slightly thicker. So that's the disc off. Now I'll be doing the same on the other side. So what I want to do is now I want to get this carriage off. Now this carriage will come off. There's 2 bolts here, and it looks like to me that I can remove these ones here as well to remove the whole system. So let's just try that, see how we get on. This is a bit new to me. We're going to try and just remove this one. And what I'm hoping is that will give me this whole carriage. That's the idea. I'm really rounding nothing off here, Micks. Just go a bit easy. Go a bit easy, Squire. Start rounding heads off and we're going to be in serious trouble, or shearing stuff off. Let me get these 2 undone. I'll come back to you. It'll be a bit lengthy otherwise. Right, we're down to the last bolt now, which is on just of these 3 off the top. And that removes this whole entire carriage on its own. There's so much dirt and grime in there, but it just frees up all this space here. Look at all this dirt inside here. Look, all this bits here. Now this is where they say not to use water, you see. There's got a rubber gaiter here, which will stop most of the water coming through and debris, but it won't stop it all. So we're going to remove all of this stuff, and then I'm then going to remove the other side so it's completely clear, and then we can then give us a real good tidy and a blow off. So you've got another 3 screws to remove, just 1, 2, 3 here, and then I've got, once that disc comes off, you've then got another 3 screws, 1, 2, 3 on this side here, which will be these ones here. Get those removed and I'll come back to you and show you what that looks like. Right, so that is the other blade removed, and now there's the other carrier. As you can see again here, all this debris, bits of cord in there, some twigs in here, all that sort of horrible stuff, that's all got to come out, okay? So now what I'm going to do is just going to get the bulk of this out, and then I'm going to use my hot soapy water just to spray it, take this outside, and I'm just going to hit this with my air compressor to get the bulk of it out. And the reason I'm just going to spray it with soapy water is just that will just stop the grass and what have you flying absolutely everywhere. Hot soapy water all over, soften it all up, and then I'll hit it with my air compressor, and I'll bring it back once I've done that, and it should look a darn sight better, ready for reinstallation. So let me hit it with the air compressor and I'll come back to you. Right, we've made a significant improvement, and all I've done is just with a toothbrush, just Mrs. P's toothbrush, literally just get a little bit of spray, work the area. It's a little bit time consuming, little bit of hot soapy water just as a spray, or just on the surface where you need it, and then wipe that off. And now what I will say, for the two years that I've had this machine, literally, it's come up really, really well. Really well. Probably a slightly bigger brush would help. But as you can see, just a very small amount of water, not enough to get so there's any egress in there, just enough just to soften up the debris. And you can see, look, that's come up like new. Really pleased with that. Really pleased. Now the only other thing you've got to check for is underneath here. You might find, like on this one here in particular, you might find you get a bit of debris stuck inside here. So just make sure you pull that debris out, because that'll affect the motor if you don't get those pieces of debris out. Okay, here it comes now. Let's see, look, all tucked away in there. So I use dental picks just to hoik this stuff out, and be very careful because we are rubber components. I'm just fishing out the bits that need to come out. And again, air compressor, just to blow out any bits that might be a bit more stubborn. Okay, so quite happy with the way that now looks. I've now got to clean up these carriages, or what I call a carriage. Got to clean those up because there's all sorts of debris up inside there as well. Now, I do know some people have actually removed this part of the carriage because lots of stuff gets stuck inside there and it can foul the motors. And I do know people have actually removed these ones out so that nothing can get jammed in there. But I'm going to leave mine in. Quick little clean up on these, and I'll come back to you once that's done. And then we'll change the blades on the discs. Right, carriages now, or guides, put back on, as they should be. Now we can concentrate more on the actual blades itself. Now these are literally just screwed in. So just get your little tiny Allen key. And if you can't quite get in there, get your dental pick and just fish out any of that dirt and grime that's in the actual head. And then you can literally just unscrew the bolts that hold the blade on. Now, Mammotion send out, or you can buy in packs, new blades and come with new bolts. Now, one thing to note is there is no washer or anything on there, but these bolts are slightly tapered at the top end. So when you're taking this apart, don't get confused between the two different bolts, one that holds the disc on and one that doesn't. They're slightly different. These have a slight taper on them. Just there. There's a very slight taper. Okay. And they're the ones you want. So let me just remove all the bolts out of this blade system, and I'll come back to my ducks. I've got I've got 8 to do. So let me get the eight screws out and I'll come back. Right, so that's now all 8 blades now removed from the 2 cutting discs. Now, one note to make, okay, is that these cutting discs, they are literally just a razor blade, okay? And as you can see, this side of the blade is battered, okay? But this side actually is still very, very sharp, okay? So be careful, number one. But what that actually means is that when you put that's how the blade was on that hole there and like that, okay? So what you could actually do if you wanted to is just turn the blade around and put it on like that. That way you get double the use, okay? So don't just throw the blade away. You still got a very, very sharp blade here. But as I'm giving it away to Ronan, I'm going to put a brand new set of blades on it anyway, okay? I've got another set which come through from Mammotion for the Luba too, so I've got plenty of spares. And they also come with their own bolts as well, so I can disregard the other bolts. And what's interesting is these actually come with a little tiny washer as well on these, a little tiny fibre washer. So I've got 8 new blades to fit. Now they have actually changed the style as well. They're sharp, be careful with those. These are no longer the Torx head or Phillips head, they're actually flat bottom, so I think that's a little bit of a mistake. I would have kept the Torx heads because they're easier, and these will round off a little bit easier. But hey ho, that's what it is. I'm not an engineer with regards to lawnmowers, so what do I know? Quick note to make, just before you put these blades on, just give the blade faces on the disc a little tiny bit of a scrape, just to get rid of any excess grass that's on there, because that will stop the blade from spinning. Now what you don't want the blade to be fixed, you would like the blade to spin, that's the idea. And then you're going to get your new blade. Now go careful, because these are just razor blades effectively, that's all they are. They're double-edged, okay, but they are blinking sharp. So just mount it to the blade like so. I'm going to get a little tiny bolt and washer. If I can pick it up, I'm going to put the washer on the bottom and the blade on the top. Because one would assume that's how that goes. There's Loctite on here. Let me just get a little tiny flathead screwdriver. I could just use a Phillips on here, but I think a flathead would be better. And it's quite tough to get them in because of the Loctite that's on them, but once they go, it should be good. And just before you nip it up, just make sure that that blade is centralised. See, it's pinched at the moment. Make sure that blade is centralised over the bolt. So drop it down over the bolt and then do it up. That way we know. And then it locks in and it stops, okay? So don't go any further than what you have to, and that blade should spin. So that's actually up tight. That's as tight as that bolt will go. Yeah, and then that blade will spin. If it doesn't spin, it's not on right. The idea is it's a bit like the old hater design where if it hits something, it doesn't do the shaft in, it just does the blade in, okay? So I've got 8 of those to do. As I say, just go careful with the blades because they are sharp, really sharp. And I'm not wearing gloves, and maybe I should do, but I just think gloves would probably hinder me through lack of sensation. Now you can't put these blades on upside down because they're reversible, universal. Just take your time getting them on. I need to fit all 8, so this is going to take a little bit of a time. They don't like to go in at first, but that's just to be Loctite. But once they go, they start to give. And as I say, just make sure that you don't pinch that blade on the bolt. It's got to sit on the bottom of that flange. If it doesn't, the blade won't spin. That's just starting to pinch now, so it's going to drop that down. See what I mean? Look, it's going to drop that down actually onto that flange. Don't have it up here so it pinches. Have it drop down, and then you can do it up. And it only goes so far. That's it, and again, that's up nice and tight, and the blade spins. All right, so let me get all 8 of those done. Take me a little while. I'll get them done, and I'll come back to you. Right, so all the blades are now on said disc, and they all spin, right? Now, I do think Luba have made a little bit of, not a mistake, but a misjudgment by using the Phillips heads instead of the Allen heads, only because the Loctite that they put on these bolts, it does make it very, very hard to get a Phillips or a flat head on them. And 1 or 2 of the heads have just started to get a little bit manky already, just by me putting in a brand new screw. So my tip is, Mick's top tip is to wind the screws in without the blades on, wind them in and out a couple of times, or just take some of that Loctite off the bolts, okay? Take the Loctite off, and then if you want to put Loctite on, put fresh Loctite on, which will set once the bolt's in. I think it's just because of the blue Loctite they've got, because it's hard, it's very tight on the thread. So a little bit of oil, run them in and out a few times, and they do go. I've got mine in, but yeah, they're a bit tricky, and they're razor blades too, so you don't want to cut yourself wide open. So that's Mick's top tip of the day. I know we all like to know Mick's top tips. Right, so blades are now fitted to said discs, and we can now fit the discs back to the machine, which I'm going to be using the original Allen bolts, which I prefer because they just don't slip like a Phillips does. So I'm not saying Mammotion are wrong, but I don't like Phillips on this sort of stuff. A Torx head would have been even better. Get a Torx on there because they just don't slip. Alright, so I've got 3 there to put on. Just going to loosey-goosey them for now. I'm going to find the other 3. Here's the other 3. Line them up. Now it does feel like there's actually got locating pins on the bottom here, so you can't get it wrong. So the locating pins will guide you to where they need to go. It sounds like Nana's home. Nana's just come home. She's been shopping, and she got rolling around. It was like a cheese and pickle roll or something. I said, "Have you been to bloody Greg's?" She said, "No." She said, "So why have you got a cheese and ham roll and a Greg's bag then?" I said, "I was in Greg's in town." "Oh yeah, didn't think about picking me up a latte then." "No." Right, dropped a bolt. Right. So all in all, this is going to take you around about half an hour. All right. You need an Allen key, a Phillips screwdriver, some nimble fingers to get this job done. Remember what I said about air compressors? Good to have if you got one. If not, a nice decent brush, not too stiff bristle, but I use a toothbrush, but could have done with an next size up sort of thing. Some hot soapy water and just spray the area. Don't have to soak it, just spray the area just to loosen it up, just so you can physically soften the deck up, and then nick these up. Now these don't hang on these because you'll strip them. Trust me, you'll strip them. So just nick them up, and then you can do your maintenance periodically when you check underneath the deck for obstructions, just with your Allen key, just to make sure that these bolts are done up. Now you might find once you've done this, it might make a bit of noise because the blades are new and they may rattle more. Whereas the other blades, they certainly didn't rattle anymore because there's so much leaf litter and grass stuff underneath the blades. They didn't rattle anymore. But hopefully Ronan will appreciate the lengths I've gone to for him. I didn't have to do this, I could just give it to him and just walked away from it, but that's not what Micks Mowers is about, we all know that. Alright, so that is how Micks Mowers, the mower man, that's me. Subscribe to my channel because I like to do videos for you guys and girls. That's how me, do the blades and clean the deck on a Luba Mammotion 1. The 2 would be no different, the 2 Mini would be no different, the Yuka would be no different. They'll all be the same roughly. The reason I like the Luba Mammotion 1 and 2, not the Mini, because no, I don't dislike the Mini, but I like because I've got the twin blade. I'm not a fan of the single blade one. I like the double blade, and I might even upgrade my Luba 2 to the 6 blade discs to just get a bit more cutting variety. This one goes from 65-70mm down to 30, where my Luba 2 goes down to 25mm now, and you can get them to go down even lower than that. And over here in the UK, that would be nice to go down to around about 15mm. That would be lovely. And it would be nice to see also a roller on the back of this, because it doesn't actually collect. You could attach a rear roller to this that's fixed. So Luba could actually roll the grass. Well, that would be a brilliant addition to these Lubas, to have a roller fitted attachment. That'd be great. I'd love to see that, or even a brush on the front bumper. That'd be just as good. Right, so that is the blades now done. all the deck cleaned. Just got to turn it back onto its top again and give it one final clean. There's nothing I need to do with the motors. All you can do if you want to is just go around with your Allen key. Now it's part of the maintenance. Just go around with your Allen key, and pretty much every single nut and bolt are the same size, right? Everywhere. And that's one thing I really like about these Mammotions, is that they just made it simple. So every single wheel hub is the same size. Just go around and check all your wheel hubs are done up. Nothing's come adrift. Anything like that, because if it has come adrift, now's the time, as we're coming into winter, now's the time to just double check that. If you want to come in here and to clean, you could do. It's not a problem. You just undo them. So it's all the same size. That's what I like about it. I'm going to leave my guards on for Ronan. I'm not going to take those off. I might take them off on my Luba too. I'll have a look at that in a minute. But apart from your blades and your deck, as long as your machine is running okay. Just checking the suspension points are okay. The bearings haven't gone in there. They're all good. You can then flip your Luba back over. This is heavy. Don't drop them, because I have seen videos of people drop their Lubas and they actually break their back axles because the machine is so heavy. One final clean off, and then this little lawnmower is good to go to my new friend Ronan, who's going to come pick it up. He's got an electric car. He's got a Tesla. And that's that. So yeah, happy. Done. Video done for you. How to change the blades, clean your deck on your Luba 1, Luba 2, Luba Minis, Yukas, whatever. They're all pretty much the same. So just make sure that you do remove your little tiny key out the back. You can hit the stop button as well. And just remember, when I did mine, my RTK system was also turned off. That way the Luba cannot pick up where it is. Okay, it's quite important. But I have seen some instances where the key has been removed and it started beeping and doing bits and pieces. So make sure it's turned off, keys turned out, red button pushed, and your RTK is turned off. Quite important. And that's it. So yeah, happy with that. There you go. What do you think? If you liked it, then hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be notified next time I upload another video, and I look forward to see you girls and guys next time. Micks Mowers very, very soon. Until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.